Okay, hello everyone. So we're looking at a level 1 spreadsheet here, which has been gone through in the sessions on the 23rd and the 25th of June, okay, at ICT level 1. So this is a spreadsheet we've been presented with, and we have our instructions over here: sales data, suggested time 40 minutes in the test. If you've done your preparation and your revision for this will not take you that long. Okay, so you'll be given a file and told to open it, and this is potentially how the file can be looked at here. Okay, you won't have the questions like this is I put in here just as a guide for you. Okay, but we notice all our columns and our rows are a bit crunched up. So as a recap, just to deal with that, we go in between like so. Okay, and that just pops all those columns out for us so we can read all the information that's in there. Okay, so file adds information. So we need to make the title stand out. Okay, so title stand out like so. Now, interesting enough, this one has come across already with the lines in it, but okay, it's not being very cooperative there. But if, for example, it came through looking very plain and basic like so, okay, all you need to do is to put your lines in, to put the grid lines in, tidy it up a little bit, highlight like so, go to home, we'll pull down, click on all borders, and it fills it all in for us like so. So we made our title stand. Okay, so I now need to work out the totals of the sales down here, because again, this is what the question's asking. And again, sometimes it's useful to take the questions in as a whole so you can see what's going on. Yes, still go back and check, but somewhere along the line, sometimes it's just a little bit more straightforward if you can actually bring some of the answers forward or questions forward. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to put my totals in, and what I need to do is add all these columns up here, because in a moment we're going to do a chart or graph based on that. So that becomes equals sum. I highlight like so. Okay, not quite like that, that can happen. So let's just go back again. Equals sum, brackets, highlight column, close brackets, and total is put in. Again, we've got our little sharp signs here, which means, hang on a second, it's a bit too much data in there, the scale's a bit too narrow, so I can just widen it out like so. So next thing we have is, again, why do I do this quickly? Well, if I didn't do the sum using that shortcut, I will then have to add up each individual cell like this, which, okay, on a sheet this size is not so bad, but if you're talking a sheet that goes on for a lot bigger, a lot longer, that takes a very long time. Okay, so just to recap, the formula I did was equals sum, brackets, pull down, close brackets like so. I can then just drag all the way across like so. Okay, I'll attend to the sharp signs in a minute, but we notice we've got this little error sign come up. Sometimes Excel does that, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with the formula. And so we can quickly look here and get a pretty good gist, everything is fine. If I just go to ignore error, that will remove it all for us. And then all I need to do is just widen my cells out like so. And I'll just put my lines around like so. And we've got it nicely tidied up. Okay, so we're now asked to create a chart. Okay, so all I need to do is I'm going to highlight this by year. I highlight my year. Then I press my CTRL or Control key. So I can highlight that. If I don't do that, you can see what happens, yeah? It won't let me do it. So let me do this, okay? And I'll do my control. I'll go to insert, and I need to go to recommended charts, but we have a problem. It's not doing the charts. Okay, why? Because accidentally on purpose, I've left this filled in here just to show you this can happen, okay? You can have randomly clicked on a box that's highlighted outside the table, and that will throw you trying to do your graph. So what you need to do is just make sure we deselect it, go back, reselect the information you want, go to your recommended charts, chart title, charts like this bar chart, that'll suffice, and then click on OK. Alright, so then we just need to put a title in. So if I just put sales of newspapers 2009 to 2014. Bingo, all done. So we now look at, next question is, use a highlight or some other means to indicate the year which independent had its maximum value. Okay. So look for the independent. Now there's two ways we can do this. We can either do the old fashioned way, let's look across. Yep, 263,000. Bingo. Or the other option we've got, equals max. So what this is now telling Excel to do is find the biggest number within a number set. And our number set is going to be set a row. Close some brackets. Hit the enter key. There we go. We have our top selling year, or our top part where we actually had paper sold. Okay. So what I could then do is actually, if I wanted to, I'll just put a comment in, okay. Let me just do that a slightly different way. New note, in fact, that's better. Okay. So I can just put here, 2010 was the top selling year, okay. And I can do that, and you get a little box like so, okay. So let me just go back over that again. I highlight the box I want. I go to new notes, okay, brings up a little pop-up box here. 2000, sorry, I'm going to type, 2010 was top selling year for the independent, okay. So the advantage of also that is that means if anybody comes in regarding this, they can look here and they can see something, there's a comment going on, and they can read some information on, okay, that can be quite useful. Particularly say if you're in a nursery environment and you need to make a comment about perhaps one of the children in the nursery that day, like may have gone home early or something happened. You can put a quick little note in there so that something's being recorded, okay? And then the final part is, remember to save your work, but for the purpose of here is insert name, because you will have to print this information off. Right, insert, header, footer. Come down to the bottom here, click in there, type in your name, like so. Come outside. Okay, the view, again, he's put it into all the footers for us. Okay, it's a bit random. How do I get it back to what I want to? I click on normal, and there we go. All done. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is an example spreadsheet for you at the level 1 level. Thank you for your kind attention.